y'all, when the hating doesn't work, they start telling lies. Steven Jackson, formerly known as Stack 5, the black activist slash Muslim slash blood slash O'Blockian, is at it again. And this time, in my books, he's reached an all-time low. What up, family? Welcome back to the channel. You already know it's your boy Moose Talks Hoops. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button. You already know. It's a lot of things in this world that cost, but hitting the like button ain't one of them. And let's get right into it, man. I used to be a big fan of Steven Jackson, man. I really did. I was a big fan of his game. I was a big fan of his competitive nature. But in recent years, man, this guy has gone off the hinges. And he's at it again, this time with his vitriol rearing its head towards Austin Rivers. Now, let me put you guys on the game, right? Austin Rivers now speaks on ESPN, mainly on NBA Today. And Austin Rivers was asked a question, and honestly, if there's anybody that got any type of experience with this, it's Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers was asked about the dynamic of Bronny James playing with LeBron James in the NBA. And Austin Rivers was absolutely against that. And he was speaking from it from his own experience. Austin Rivers spent most of his career in the NBA playing under his father, the main part of his career playing under his father who was the GM and coach of the LA Clippers, Glenn Doc Rivers at that time, acquired Austin Rivers from the New Orleans Pelicans and had him under his wing and in a Clippers jersey. Now, the reason why this is important is, of course, the dynamic between Bronny James and LeBron James teaming up. Now, Austin Rivers was asked, did he think it was a good idea for Bronny and LeBron James to be teammates? And he said, although it may be LeBron James' dream for him to play with his son Bronny, the question that nobody's asking, and he's absolutely right, is it Bronny James' dream to play with his father under that scrutiny and under the bright lights and in his father's shadow? We already see the scrutiny that's been coming Bronny James's way, all the hate on social media that's been coming Bronny James's way, and they think Bronny James is getting a free pass to the NBA via nepotism from his father, LeBron James. Y'all smash that like button and share the video. Salute to So Crazy TV. I see you in the chat. Go subscribe to that guy, So Crazy TV. He be cooking on his channel, man. Salute to you, Terry. I see you in the chat as well. So Austin Rivers, speaking from experience, said he doesn't believe it's a great idea for Bronny James to play with LeBron. If he was Bronny James carrying the LeBron James name, he'd want to play somewhere else and carve out his own identity and his own NBA path. And lo and behold, the haters of all haters, Steven Jackson, Mr. Big O'Blockian slash blood slash black activist slash Muslim, ripped him on Instagram by saying, quote, "And your daddy not LeBron. Shut up. The difference is you are trash. Bronny is not. You can't compare to him." Now, the reason why I call BS on this is A, Steven Jackson is not sticking up for Bronny here. Steven Jackson is not speaking on behalf of Bronny. Steven Jackson is going to be one of those main people trying to rip Bronny to shreds when he dons an NBA uniform. You guys mark my words on this. Now, Steven Jackson has had this beef with Austin Rivers and Doc Rivers for some time now. And I'm going to take it back. Some of you guys may not know, but that's why I'm here. Steven Jackson was on the Los Angeles Clippers in the 2014 season when Austin Rivers was wearing a Clipper jersey and playing under his father, one Glenn Doc Rivers. And Steven Jackson always believed in his short time with the Clippers that Doc Rivers was showing favoritism to Austin Rivers over him when it comes to playing time as a part of the Los Angeles Clippers. Matter of fact, both All the Smoke brothers were on the Clippers at that time, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And both of them have had a long-standing feud with Glenn Doc Rivers and the Rivers family. But for Steven Jackson to have so much hate in his heart and to come out here and blatantly lie on Austin Rivers like that, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not. Austin Rivers, coming out of high school, was the #1 player in the country. I repeat, Austin Rivers coming out of high school was the #1 player in the country. Was cooking cats all over the nation. High school ball, high school tournaments, AAU tournaments. Austin Rivers was cooking. He didn't make it to the NBA on the merits of his dad. He was a lottery pick, went to a #1 program like Duke, and balled out. Now, his career may have not panned out the way a lot of people thought it would for somebody who was a #1 player in the country in high school. But Austin Rivers was a solid basketball player. And truth be told, Austin Rivers at this stage in his life, at the age of 18, was a better player than Bronny James was. So for Steven Jackson to come out here and spew his Rivers hate toward Austin Rivers and trying to mask it like he's in support of Bronny James or Bronny James teaming up with LeBron James, that's not what it is. Steven Jackson is the biggest hypocrite in sports media. He's the man who believes he's the only real one in this world. His opinion is the only one that matters. He's the only guy privy to knowledge. He's the only guy that should be speaking on certain situations. For what? For what? Steven Jackson, you weren't the player Austin Rivers was coming out of high school. Albeit you were a McDonald's All-American, you weren't the player Austin Rivers was coming out of high school. You weren't the player Austin Rivers was coming out of college. You weren't the player Austin Rivers was going into the NBA draft. Let's keep it a buck here. Steven Jackson, you have written and rode that 2003 Spurs championship until the wheels fell off. You've had a good NBA career. Like I said, this ain't hate, man. Like I said, I was a fan of Steven Jackson during his playing days. I liked his toughness. I liked his competitiveness. I liked his shot making when the chips were on the line. But bruh, you wrong here. And this tirade that you're running towards Austin Rivers is strictly out of hate. It's not based in any other merit. We could crunch the numbers. Austin Rivers was the clear-cut #1 player coming out of high school. Went to Duke. Shined in 34 games playing for Duke, for the Duke Blue Devils. Averaged over 15 points a game in college, playing at Duke, playing with a whole bunch of All-Americans and McDonald's players. So let's keep it real right here. And all this hate is coming from you not getting no playing time while you were wearing a Clippers jersey when Austin Rivers was on the Clippers and you guys were being coached by Doc Rivers. Just come out and say what it is. And you guys are going to see the hypocrisy in Steven Jackson when it's this time next year. And if Bronny James is in the NBA this time next year, the main people coming out here and speaking negatively about Bronny James, Steven Jackson is going to be at that forefront. You guys can mark my words on that. You guys can mark my words on that. And it's real sad, bro. It's real sad to watch the fall of Steven Jackson like this. Somebody who I viewed as a real one a few years ago. But a lot of these guys, Steven Jackson included, Kendrick Perkins, they get a taste of that media. They get a taste of that camera. They get a taste of that podcast life. You feel me? And they start feeling like they're more important than what they are. They start smelling their own cologne. They run around with this tough gangster bravado. Like they're the only ones that can have an opinion. And everything they say is law. And everything they say is real. When everything they say is rooted in hatred, everything they say is rooted in jealousy, and everything is rooted in a time where they felt they were slighted in the past. Y'all smash that like button and share the video. So Steven Jackson, I'm going to talk directly to you. Put your stats up with Austin Rivers coming out of high school. Put your stats up with Austin Rivers coming out of college. Oh, I forgot. You lost your scholarship to Arizona. You didn't go to college. You had to go the CBA route. Second round pick. New Jersey Nets gave up on you. And the same guy, Greg Popovich, who you bash on the regular, is the same guy that made you the NBA player that you are. If it wasn't for Greg Popovich, nobody would have known who Steven Jackson is. Nobody. This is the same man that got himself kicked off the Spurs because he felt like he should be playing over Manu Ginobili. Not once, but twice in your career. After that 2003 championship against the New Jersey Nets, where you were a free agent, you felt like you should be playing over Manu Ginobili. When he played better than you in that final series. And I will give you some props. You balled out in that final series. I'm not a hater like you, Steven Jackson. I'm going to give you your props. You balled out. You helped the Spurs win a championship. So give Austin Rivers his props. He knows what he's talking about. Austin Rivers had to play with the pressure of nepotism, the pressure of people thinking his dad is helping his career. And he doesn't want that for Bronny James. He's speaking from the heart when he says he wants Bronny James to carve out his own niche, his own lane in the NBA. Because he sees how that negatively affected his career. So for you to just come out here and dismiss all that and say your daddy not LeBron and you're trash and Bronny is not, when we all know at this stage in life, at this stage in both their young careers, Austin Rivers was better than Bronny James. Now, Bronny James may end up being a better NBA player than Austin Rivers. But you can't sit here and tell me That kid that I seen destroying everybody in high school, from Florida to across the country, AAU circuits, anywhere. You name them. Cooking cats. Cooking cats. You can't discredit that man saying, what that man's saying. Just call it what it is, Steven Jackson. You hate Doc Rivers. You hate Austin Rivers. You felt like you should have been playing over Austin Rivers back when you guys were both on the Clippers playing for Doc Rivers. Just call it what it is. Just call it what it is, man. Just call it what it is, man. And it's sad, bro. Somebody that looked at Steven Jackson and admired his game and what he brought to the game, for you to be going out at like this is sad. It's bad enough you had to check in at O Block, but this is worse. This is absolutely worse in my books, man. This is absolutely worse in my books, man. And Steven Jackson, your little media run is over with. All the smoke is over with. So now you got to stir up controversy by attacking Austin Rivers. Unprovoked. With a baseless, meritless attack, man. For real, bro. It's real disgusting, man. It's time for you to look in the mirror, get that hate out your heart, and just be who you are. Figure out who you want to be. Do you want to be an activist? Do you want to be a Muslim? Do you want to be an Oblockian? Do you want to be a blood? Figure out what you want to be and quit hating on the next man. Because Austin Rivers ain't do nothing to you other than beat you out of a spot on the Los Angeles Clippers. And by the time he did that, you was already washed up. Man, that's all I got on this for now, man. Once again, you already know it's your boy Moose Talks Hoops. Like I always say, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button. You already know. It's a lot of things in this world that cost, but hitting the like button ain't one of them, man. I'm up out of here. I'll be back here shortly. Keep those notifications on to all. Make sure you get all the videos when they drop, and make sure y'all share the video. I'm going to see you guys here in a quick moment, man. Peace and love, family.